Emma hadn't been home in years. Her parents' house in a quiet town in Maine felt frozen in time. The same porch swing, the same smell of pine trees, the same framed family photos on the wall. But this time it felt different. Her mother was gone for a while, needing space, as she'd said on the phone, leaving Emma alone with her father, Robert. Something about the way her mother spoke that day had sounded strange. Calm but distant, almost relieved. When Emma arrived, her father greeted her with a tired smile. He looked older, his shoulders slightly hunched, as if the weight of years had finally caught up with him. "You made it," he said softly. She nodded, trying to act cheerful, though she felt a quiet tension she couldn't name. They made tea, sat by the window, and watched the rain blur the trees outside. For a long time, neither spoke much. By evening, the silence between them grew heavier. Robert finally said, "There's something I've been meaning to tell you, Emma." His tone was steady, but his eyes looked far away. She set her cup down, uneasy. "What is it?" she asked. He hesitated, then sighed deeply. "Your mother and I, we haven't really been together for a long time." The words hit her like cold wind. "What do you mean?" she asked quickly. He looked down. "We stayed married for you, for the family. But after you went to college, things just ended quietly. We were still here, still together, but not the way you thought." Emma stared at him, trying to process it. Her mind flashed back to all the family dinners, the polite smiles, the holidays that always felt a little too quiet. "So you've just been pretending all these years?" she asked. Robert shook his head. "Not pretending, surviving. We cared about each other, but love changes. Your mother and I didn't want you growing up in a broken home. We thought it was better this way." She sat back, her chest tightening. She'd always believed her parents had a strong marriage. They never fought, never raised their voices. But now she realized the silence wasn't peace. It was distance. "Why are you telling me this now?" she asked quietly. He sighed again, heavier this time. "Because your mother's not coming back. She's moving in with someone else. And before you hear it from her, I wanted you to know the truth. You deserve that." Emma's breath caught. "She's seeing someone?" "Yes," he said softly. For a while now, the room fell silent again. Rain started tapping against the window, a sound that suddenly felt too loud. Emma didn't know what to feel. Anger, sadness, confusion. It was all mixed together. She'd spent her life thinking her parents had what everyone else wanted. Now she realized they had only been holding pieces together. Robert stood and walked to the fireplace, staring at an old photo. The three of them on a beach trip years ago. "We were happy once," he said. "Your mom was full of light back then. But time changes people. I kept hoping she'd come back to me, but she didn't." Emma felt tears burning behind her eyes. "You should have told me," she whispered. "I know," he said. "But you were young, and I didn't want to hurt you." She understood, but it didn't make it easier. For the first time, she saw her father not as the strong, quiet man who always had control, but as a person who'd been silently heartbroken. That night, Emma couldn't sleep. She wandered into the living room and saw her father sitting on the couch, staring at the flickering light from the TV. She sat beside him. Neither spoke for a while. Then she said softly, "Were you ever happy, Dad?" He turned to her, eyes tired but calm. "Yes, when you were little. You used to run around this house, making your mother laugh. That laughter kept us together for a long time. But one day it stopped, and I didn't know how to bring it back." Emma looked down at her hands. She had always thought love meant staying together no matter what. But now she saw that sometimes love means letting go when holding on hurts too much. The next morning, the rain had cleared. The air smelled of wet grass and fresh earth. Robert was already in the garden, trimming plants like he always did. Emma joined him, standing quietly beside him for a while. Then she asked, "Do you regret it, staying together all those years?" He paused before answering. "No," he said finally, Because it gave you a home. It gave us time. But I do wish we'd been more honest. With each other and with you." They worked in silence for a while. The soft snip of garden shears the only sound. Emma realized her father wasn't bitter. He wasn't angry. He had simply accepted what life had become. There was sadness, yes, but also peace. Later that afternoon, they sat on the porch, sharing lemonade like they used to when she was a kid. "Your mother's a good woman," Robert said suddenly. "We just stopped being right for each other. I hope you can still love her, even after this." Emma nodded slowly. "I do. I just need time to understand it." He smiled faintly. "That's all I ask." Before leaving that evening, Emma walked through the house one last time. Every room held a memory. Her mother's laughter in the kitchen, her father's voice calling her for dinner, the smell of pine from the backyard. But now she saw it differently. It wasn't a picture-perfect home. It was real, flawed, fragile, full of love that had changed shape over time. When she got to the door, her father hugged her tightly. "Take care of yourself, Em," he said, "and don't make the same mistake we did. Don't stay somewhere your heart has already left." She nodded, holding back tears. "I won't." As she drove away, she looked in the mirror and saw him standing in the driveway, hands in his pockets, watching her go. The road ahead was quiet, lined with tall trees swaying in the breeze. For the first time, she felt both sadness and relief. The truth hurt, but it also set her free from the illusion she had carried for years. She realized her father's secret wasn't just about a broken marriage. It was a lesson about love. How it changes, how silence can hide pain, and how honesty can still heal what's left behind. By the time she reached the highway, the clouds had cleared, and sunlight broke through, warm and golden. Emma smiled faintly. Maybe her parents' story hadn't ended happily, but it had ended honestly, and that was its own kind of peace.